Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first meeting of the Glendale City Council after 2 luxury weeks off.
And Housing Authority, too.
And Housing Authority, too. For January 8th, 2008, being called to order at 3:14 p.m. May we have a roll call for the Housing Authority?
Authority members Draymond.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Grazian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Yusefian.
Here.
Chairman Weaver.
Here. Do we have your report?
The agenda for the January 8th, 2008 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, January 3rd, 2008 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. Next, please.
Next is approval of minutes.
So move.
Second.
I will abstain. With the abstention, the minutes will stand approved as submitted. Next, please.
Next is oral communication. Discussion is limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for an investigation and report.
Thank you. I have one card. Herbert Milano.
Good afternoon. My name is Herbert Milano, members of the Housing Authority and city staff. From time to time when I address this body, I bring to mind the fact that it is the Housing Authority under whose jurisdiction you have the Community Development Block Grant, the monies that come from the federal government to assist those individuals who do not have quite the same opportunities that the rest of us do to live a quality of life. And we depend on the Community Development Block Grants to meet the gap. I believe that you're addressing the gap significantly with regard to low-income housing, but I'm very concerned about the efforts that the city might want to take in the future to address the issues of how to create a sustainable environment for the young people, those kids who don't get to graduate from high school because their economic conditions at home are difficult. It is my wish that the city of Glendale and the school district, the Glendale Unified School District, would work jointly in a much more significant effort to address the issues of how to increase the high school graduation rate through the CDBG and perhaps other measures so that we can begin to break this situation that seems to be unfathomable. We can't seem to make enough progress decade after decade. And it is the only department that addresses this issue is the Housing Department. And what I would like to know is if perhaps the city can make, and the Housing Authority, periodic measures of evaluation as to how our performance is and where the gaps are. Because as I looked at the minutes, I noticed that very often there are no discussions taking place during the Housing Authority meetings. And the need is definitely there. But it just seems to me that the main issues that this body is concerned with, primarily the City Council, are development issues. That it has to do with aligning yourself with a developer or with construction, then the attention of the City Council is there. But I do not find on a regular basis the attention being given to that segment of our society, where we need to pay attention to if we are going to eventually break this mold that we have, which is the high school dropout to prison type situation. So it is my hope that the city can begin to receive periodic information on how we are performing with regard to meeting the needs of that group, not just through the CDBG, but through other initiatives. And my other wish is that when you do write the minutes, that the topics of which a person that comes to speak before you be recorded. I don't think it is much effort to put a single line in here that a speaker came to talk about the needs to attend to youth, for example. One very short sentence. But yet, when it comes to city council and redevelopment and housing, only the name appears on the minutes, rather than the topic of which I came to speak or somebody else comes to speak. And I think that perhaps that should change so that at least those who decide to go back into the history of the agency or the redevelopment agency or the city council can sense the concerns of the public when they come to speak before you. If putting my name down on the minutes is significant, I think it's more significant the topic of which I'm bringing and talking about. Thank you very much.
I have no more cards or communications closed. Next, please.
Next is authority member or staff comments.
Seeing none, Oh, I do.
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment. The chairman of our housing authority worked very hard on the Rose Parade float, as he always does. But the float really looked nice. Watched it in high def, which is the first time I had seen it in high definition. And then I went down and saw it the first morning that it was here in Glendale, but it looked beautiful. It reminded me that in 1957, my senior year of college, I worked on the Glendale float. I was crew chief for Sam Coleman, who was a dentist here in Glendale. His mother was Elizabeth Coleman, where they had the Elizabeth Coleman Award and everything. We won also that year. And Vice President Nixon and his wife were the Grand Marshals, and they came by, and I met them for the first time. But it just reminded me of the long history that Glendale has with the parade. And the commentators really spoke well of Glendale as a city, let alone the float. So congratulations to everyone that was
I'm
involved.
glad you
in
went
that.
down the first day before the rains, because you wouldn't want to see it now.
Yeah.
That white glue really melts. With that, no more other comments? Is there,
Move to adjourn for the Housing Authority.
Second.
okay, stand adjourned at 3:20 p.m.